I can't imagine the NFL doing that. I think that's a little.
Why
bit,
not?
Well, I mean, you're basically forcing a guy's civil liberties. You're going, we don't care, and we don't care about your civil liberties. But just get it done if you want to play with us.
Yeah. You're
No,
just pulling out
you don't
terms.
think so?
Civil liberties.
No,
No. I mean,
the fact that
they've got the right under the personal conduct policy to do this if they want to do it. They've got every right to do it. They've got every right to say, we don't want this guy on the field, nationally televised games against the Bengals, against the Steelers. We don't want this with the cases still pending. We don't want the broadcast. This is the whole reason for paid leave. They don't want to have games on TV involving players who have pending charges against them. Now, typically it's criminal. And typically it's dangerous to take any action against someone who is simply the defendant in a civil case. But when you get to 22, that's when the rules go out the window. That's when what's usual and ordinary has to take a back seat to 22 civil claims of sexual misconduct. 22. That's the number that won't go away. And that's why I'm saying if he's not going to settle these cases on his own, if he's not going to do it at the urging of the Browns, if the Browns aren't going to urge him to do it, the NFL has the power if it wants to use it. I'm not saying it should. I'm just saying it could. And this may be the best way to put this behind everyone. Your choice. Settle the cases and take a paid or an unpaid suspension, or fight them with the knowledge that we're not letting you play until this is over. You want to fight it? You want to take it to trial? That's fine. That's your right. But you're not getting on the football field until these 22 cases are gone.
How long do you think this would take, like, if he were to fight it? I mean, would it match up with the time frame of if he got suspended 8 games? Is it something, Mike, that could, justifiably be done halfway, before the year? Because I don't doubt you in the fact that the NFL could do this or any of it. It doesn't seem right that they could do that, especially if Deshaun Watson feels that he's innocent. I'm with you. I get it. Yeah, it's 22. It's a little fishy. Sorry. I'm not saying that they're all true or whatever, but yeah, that's a little fishy. Sorry. Like you said, it's a little more than like, 1 or 2 or he said, she said. We passed that point. But I don't know. Realistically, Mike, I mean, you would know better than me. How long would that take to settle? I mean, is that something? Because like you said, we have no sign that they're going to back down or go do anything other than fight for his innocence at this point.
Well, there were deals in place with 18 of the plaintiffs last year. And since Watson needed all 22 to be settled, he settled none of them. I think at this point, if you want to settle these cases and you're willing to pay, because ultimately that's what it comes down to. That's how justice is measured in the civil system. It's how much the defendant's willing to pay and how much the plaintiff will take. Now, the problem is this guy's got $230 million fully guaranteed over the next 5 years. That may change some of the expectations,
Definitely.
but that's the risk you take.
Definitely.
Because you know what? He could have settled 18 of them last year if he wanted to. He could have settled the 18. You can individually negotiate these cases. You didn't have to say we want all 22 to be settled. He could have whittled it down to 4, and he could have settled with the final 4 now. And whatever it takes, you pay him whatever it takes to make it go away. So I think there are ways to do it. There are technical legal strategies that could be employed that would increase the incentive for the plaintiffs to take the settlement, and it would be a fair and just number that would be offered by Deshaun Watson. There are ways to do it. Rusty Hart knows what he's doing if the objective is to get these cases resolved. If the objective is to fight, then these are going to continue to hang around. And the Browns are going to continue to take the heat for it. Look, my niece is an extremely rabid Browns fan. She doesn't like that they traded for Deshaun Watson.
Sure, a lot of
she would
people
feel
don't.
better about it if he settles the cases.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of Browns fans feel that way. They don't like it. They would feel better about it if he would settle the cases, have his reckoning, make amends, and put it all behind him so it doesn't hover over the Browns. They've had enough crap hovering over that team since 1999 when it returned to the NFL. They don't want 22 civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct during massage therapy sessions hovering over the team. Yeah. They don't want it.
I get it. I mean, listen, I don't want it either. I get it. I understand. I do. I also find it, a little hard line, I guess, for the NFL to force Deshaun Watson's hands in that. So that would be interesting here to watch this. Also, I just ask you, Mike, I mean, Busby to this point, he doesn't seem content on doing anything very easy for Deshaun Watson or his camp. It doesn't seem like he's gonna bargain to get the greatest deals ever. It just seems like everything he's done is a little bit over the top to this point. So I don't see him being like going to the negotiating table and going, well, that's fair. I mean, I feel like he's going to try to hammer Deshaun Watson there, which also makes it, hard for him. And again, I got great sympathy for all 22 of these cases. I really do. But yeah, it's a tough situation. It is, and I don't know if it's the right thing. Again, like I said, to force a guy's hand to settle all these.
There's a point where the client has to take over. There's a point where I didn't want to get super technical, but most jurisdictions have a device known as an offer of judgment. It can be a very effective tool to get the attention of a plaintiff who otherwise enters a case with nothing to lose. And that's how it happens. You see the commercials on TV. We don't get paid unless we get money for you. There is no out-of-pocket cost typically in these cases. And that causes lawyers to only take on cases where they think there's going to be a sizable settlement or verdict that would justify the expenditure of time and money. But if you make an offer of judgment, here's how it works. It's very simple. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Deshaun Watson, for each of these 22 individuals, could make what's called an offer of judgment. It's a specific monetary offer. It's got to be made at least 10 days in advance of the start of trial. If you do that, and if the individual ultimately doesn't get as much or more at trial, that person is responsible for all litigation costs incurred from the moment the offer was made. Okay?
Gotcha.
So, and you get all, not attorney's fees typically, but all litigation costs, travel expenses, deposition expenses, photocopying, everything that gets spent out of pocket to defend the case from the moment the offer is made until the end of trial, that comes out of the pocket, in theory, of the plaintiff. Now, how much of that money is there? But what it doesn't matter. What it does is it puts risk. It puts skin in the game for the plaintiff who otherwise has nothing to lose.
Gotcha.
And when the lawyer explains it, it's like, this is a lot of money. It's a lot of money that ultimately may be your responsibility. Okay, what was that offer again? Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah,
that goes a long way toward getting people who are otherwise reluctant to wake up and say, I better take this because I'm going to be at financial risk if I don't. If it's a fair number.
Right.
If it's a fair number. Right? It's like, boy, I don't think I'm going to, I couldn't ask for a whole lot better than this at trial. I better just take this and be done with it now.
All right. So that makes sense. I didn't realize that aspect of it either. So there is a little
Here's the problem.
Yeah. What?
Let me add the PS.
Yeah.
You're actually offering a judgment against you. So it increases the scrutiny that you will face before the NFL because not only have you settled, you've also had a judgment entered that you're responsible for the thing that they've accused you of doing. That's the other side of it. You got to be willing to take that. And see, the problem is, and maybe the NFL should be a little more open with the agents and the lawyers and the players as to what the consequences may be so they can make informed decisions. The NFL doesn't do that. The NFL keeps its cards very close to the vest and doesn't tell anybody what it's planning to do until it does it. And that can make it harder to make strategic decisions when the big wild card is what's the NFL going to do. And nobody knows until the NFL decides to do it. But the NFL is always driven by PR, Chris. That's the key. And if there's huge local blowback in Cleveland and broader, and you look at Peter King's column today. I mean, Peter has a very heartfelt and aggressive attack on the Browns and the NFL. If that gains real traction, that's when the NFL could say, hey, Deshaun, you're not playing until these are resolved.
Yeah.
You need to get these resolved. You're not setting foot on our gridiron, on our field, with our shield until these cases are resolved.
Yeah, the more and more I sit here, the more and more I just sit here and go, I that's the play. And I think just talking it out, listening to you, learning some things that I didn't maybe know about the situation, I think it is the way to go. As you sit here and look at it a little bit, you kind of look at Deshaun and go, I think he's, trying to have it both ways a little bit here, as far as doesn't want to get the blowback, but doesn't maybe want to do what he needs to do to squash all the media hype and frenzy around this as well. And you're right. I don't think it's going anywhere as long as this is going on still. Yeah, again, it seems like he wants to fight and prove his innocence. It seems like he's been determined to do that, ever from the start. And hey, cool, I support that. But with that, like you said, it's just going to drag this out, and it's going to be scrutinized even more. And it's going to engage the Cleveland fan base even more because they're going to go, oh, wait, this guy's our quarterback? Wait, I'm going to start reading more articles and paying attention to this whole case here and see what's going on. To where, I'm with you, Mike. You definitely have changed my 100% swayed me to the side that you started off the show with going, get them settled. Get it done. Yeah, people aren't going to be happy, but people aren't going to be happy no matter what in this situation. I think that's the best way, at least, to start soothing over the public and maybe going away here to rebranding your image and trying to get on the better side or the good side of the Cleveland Brown fan base. I'm with you, Mike. I think you're spot on.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.